Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Klusner has begun to reposition in preparation for the dedication pass. Captain Klusner and the rest of the F-35 demonstration team from the 388th Fighter Wing wish to dedicate this pass to the men and women from all branches of the armed forces and their families who are so bravely fighting today's joint fight. We would also like to remember our wounded warriors and veterans in attendance and those who have given their lives defending this great nation. This will be your best photo opportunity, so get your cameras ready to capture the salute.
Way out there.
Now, from over your left shoulder, the F-35 demonstration team proudly presents the dedication pass. Captain Klusner will now demonstrate the Lightning II's crisp agility and handling. Notice that as she makes her approach, she is in the inverted position. As she reaches show center, she will complete a 360-degree roll and finish the pass inverted. Coming in from your right, Captain Klusner performing the inverted pass. The F-35 possesses the incredible ability to point its nose at will in a dogfight. Watch closely as the jet climbs more than a mile into the vertical and completes the lightning loop. And then while under complete control and without thrust vectoring, Captain Klusner will execute a full 360-degree flat turn. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lightning II pedal turn. Watch now as Captain Klusner flies across the aerobatic container and traces a square in the sky. As she reaches the top of the loop, she will remain inverted and reduce the speed of the aircraft at just over 100 knots. Coming in from the right, the F-35 performing the square loop. The ability to maintain slow speed flight is crucial in combat. The potent combination of sophisticated flight controls, coupled with the most powerful fighter engine ever built, make it possible to reduce the F-35's speed to less than 100 knots. Coming in from your left, Captain Klusner will demonstrate the F-35's slow speed capability. And then just as she approaches show center, you will once again feel the raw power of the engine as she lights the afterburner and accelerates the aircraft into a near vertical climb. Ladies and gentlemen, don't look away yet. As Captain Klusner reaches the peak of her climb, she will go inverted and reposition the aircraft by performing a split S. As she returns to show center, she will then accelerate rapidly and snap the F-35 through a series of aileron rolls to demonstrate the Lightning II's impressive roll maneuverability. Dropping in from the right, Captain Klusner executing opposing rolls. As the most technologically advanced fighter aircraft in the world, the F-35's flight controls give our pilots a distinct advantage to outmaneuver their opponents. As Captain Klusner approaches show center, she will complete more than 135 degrees of heading change in 3 seconds, slide the tail of the F-35 through the turn, and then powerfully climb out of the maneuver. Closing in from the left, ladies and gentlemen, the tactical pitch. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Klusner is repositioning right now for another high-speed pass. Coming in from your left, prepare for Freedom's Thunder on the high-speed pass. We hope you enjoyed today's brief display of only a fraction of the F-35's full combat capability. As Captain Klusner prepares to land, we would like to give a shout out to our expert maintenance team that made today's demonstration possible. Our F-35 dedicated crew chief, Staff Sergeant Jeffrey Williams from Mobile, Alabama, Staff Sergeant Jacob Sackett from Benicia, California, and Senior Airman Braden Bissell from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Our avionics specialist, A1C Matthew Dooley from Phoenix, Arizona, and our aircrew flight equipment specialist, Senior Airman Samantha Jackson from right here in Ogden, Utah. If you enjoyed today's performance, make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at F35 Demo Team and tag us in all your social media posts at hashtag F35 Demo Team. Thank you so much, Hill Air Force Base. We've loved being here performing at our home show. Can't wait to see you guys again in 2 years. You guys have been awesome.
All right, a big Hill Air Force Base round of applause for their homecoming show of the F-35A demonstration team, border to border and coast to coast. They'll be back on the road next weekend. Enjoy your stay here. We're so proud of you guys, so proud of the job you do. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you so much, Hollywood. We've loved listening to your voice all weekend, too.
Thank you. You are a saint for saying that. All right, now it's not over. Rob Holland's going to take to the skies. Rob Holland, doing things in the world of competition that nobody has ever done. 5-time world freestyle champion, 12-time and current U.S. national aerobatic champion, 13-time and current U.S. national freestyle aerobatic champion, honorary Blue Angel, honorary Snowbird. He is sponsored by Bremont Watches, MX Aircraft, Champion Aerospace, MGL Avionics, Sling Pilot Academy, Full Stop Aviation, Tubro Aviation, and Titan Aviation Fuels. Now, Rob Holland, well, he'd say, Danny, you got to do your job. He loves to hear from you on Facebook. So on Facebook page, it's facebook.com/RH Aerosports. Twitter and Instagram, it is at Rob Holland 5150. Share your airshow pictures on our Facebook page, and Rob Holland will love you. Well, talking about Rob Holland, we had a great airshow pilot and competition pilot by the name of Leo Laudenslager. Leo did things that nobody ever did before. He tied a 3-time national consecutive championship. He went on to his 4th national championship, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. He was destined to go on for more, but through no fault of his own, he was tragically killed in a traffic accident near his hometown. Nobody ever thought that there would be a pilot that could duplicate what Leo Laudenslager did. But along comes Rob Holland. Not only did he match Leo's 7-time championship, he broke that record. He went to 8. Then he broke his own record, going to 9 national championships, then 10, then 11, and currently holding at 12. Competition is coming up for his 13th attempt at that in the month of August, and other things as well, as he takes to the sky in his award-winning presentation. He was part of the 2 Cool Dudes in their 3-ship performance, so this is his 4th performance of the day. While we clear the runway of some of the aircraft heading out of town or going over to the Ogden Airport, I am Danny Clisham, the host that loves you most. You know, I always love keeping in touch with all of you great air show fans. I invite you to visit me on Facebook, share your photos from today's air show, drop a line, and keep track of what's going on at air shows around the country. We welcome you to visit us at Danny Clisham Air Show Announcer on Facebook. That's DANNYCLISHAM. And I would like to take the opportunity to welcome and thank my product sponsors, GoodyearAviation.com, makers of the Goodyear Eagle 3 General Aviation Tire with Kevlar. Thank you. The Concord Battery Company of West Covina, California, and the Atlanta area, allowing me starts reliably on my general aviation aircraft. By the way, all you GA pilots, you know that The cost of tires, tubes, and even valves are going sky high. We have got to take better care of our general aviation tires. I urge you to go to GoodyearAviation.com, GoodyearAviation.com. You learn about the things we have been doing right and the things we have been doing wrong with our aircraft tires over the years. Whether it's a Goodyear tire or an opposing brand, you will find out what the letters and numbers mean. You will also get, without hearsay but with fact, the proper inflation techniques. Also, when you're putting a tire and tube together, it will tell you what not to do, and we have been doing what not to do for decades. It was passed down to us erroneously by our mentors, and it actually hurt the tires and tubes rather than help. Going to GoodyearAviation.com, you'll learn what to do correctly. As the aircraft continue to take off, general aviation tires have increased in price by 27%. Tubes have gone 50% in price, and valves are now $65 for general aviation aircraft. GoodyearAviation.com will help you with that. So you know about Rob Holland. Now you're going to see. I'm going to back up when I told you about this incredible pilot. Look for the noise, and that is Rob Holland coming downhill at 300 miles per hour. Going up now, he's going to...
Welcome back into Broadcast Center. We're just down from Air Show Center here at Hill Air Force Base, day 2 of this Warriors over the Wasatch, and the F-35 demonstration team was just in the air. Captain Mark Klusner, that was some pretty impressive stuff.
That was absolutely amazing, and I know my colleague Alex Cabrero interviewed her earlier and then just said to see her up in the air doing her thing, so impressive, especially when you watch, like, when it's vertical and it's going straight in the air and all the tricks. I mean, it really takes a lot of guts to be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
No, I can watch it.
Yeah, so, you know, it's been a great 2 days here, and just it's been nice to have the community out here and such a great event for Utah at large.
Absolutely, and when you look at the crowd that's out here, just the energy that feeds off of people, you know, people are taking pictures and video, kids are going ooh and ah and, you know, clapping, and you really don't get that kind of atmosphere other than the last 2 days.
Yeah, so it's really been a lot of fun, but it's not over yet, Lauren.
No,
because the America's Ambassadors in Blue, the Air Force Thunderbirds, about to take to the air as you see them getting ready to start their show here in just a few minutes. But the Thunderbirds, Lauren, have been around for a long time.
Yeah, and I honestly didn't even know this, 1953. And you'll notice that the planes that we showed you, the red, white, and blue, which is what Staff Sergeant Clem, who we interviewed, was pointing out. Yep. And the team behind the planes that we're going to see flying in the air, they're kind of like this family. They're having a lot of fun. They are passionate. They want to serve the community. They want to be out there for people to enjoy what they can do. So I'm super excited to see that. More than 130 professionals and 25 different career fields. So really a wide range of people who are on this team. And they've got 75 demonstrations every single year. And as Staff Sergeant Clem was saying, they fly like 18 inches apart from each other, so they really have to know what they're doing and have that precision.
Yeah, and also you're on the road for 300 plus days a year, so no choice but to be family.
Right, absolutely. Bringing this show to different communities across the country and you know, showing off what they can do.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, I think a lot of people don't realize because they only see the Thunderbirds at air shows, but this is an operational fighter squadron, and they can be combat ready in as little as 3 days. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so it's not just fun and games.
No.
Yeah, they have to be ready in 72 hours. So
yeah, so the Thunderbirds, part of the major command in the Air Force called Air Combat Command, and I guess it's called Air Combat for a reason. And so it's a pretty impressive feat, I would guess, to watch that in action. But the Thunderbirds will take off here in just a little while. Of course, they start with their air show, Disney inspired. I bet a lot of people did not know that.
Yes, yeah, and that was what Staff Sergeant Clem was saying, that they kind of want to make it feel like a Disney fireworks show, and they've actually teamed up with Disney to bring that feeling out here. So you get a little bit of that magic in addition to just that inspiration.
You said they had you at Disney and dancing, I believe.
Yes, and dancing too. This team loves to have fun. They love to dance, and they love to be up in the air and showing off for everyone.
Yeah, so and they definitely do that. Of course, the most highly anticipated act, of course, of the weekend, the headliners. And so, but we've had some really great performances. You know, I really love to watch that heritage flight that the F-35 flies with the P-51 Mustang right before she starts her actual demonstration. I just really like that ode to the past, if you will, because, you know, I think the celebrations that we have here really pay homage to the men and women who served, you know, from, you know, World War II and even earlier till today.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Past, present, and future. And, you know, as we heard earlier, too, the F-35, just how high-tech they are, you know, and they really are the future of flying. And then you have that pairing with the history. And it's a rare formation to see those two flying side by side. So that was really neat to be able to see that in person.
Yeah. for those that might not know, if you're just tuning in and don't really understand the difference, so we're going to see the F-16. That's actually a fourth generation jet that the Thunderbirds fly. The F-35 is actually a fifth generation fighter, and that's really basically tied to the stealth capabilities that the F-35 has. So really unique, as of course technology continues to improve. The Air Force continues to innovate and modernize, for competition today and in the future. Those capabilities very important. So we're getting ready for the ground show. Lauren, you ready?
I am ready. I am so excited, especially after hearing directly what we're about to see and now finally be able to see it.
All right, so we're going to step aside. It's time for the United States Air Demonstration Squadron, the Thunderbirds. Enjoy the show.
Enjoy.
We are the warriors of the 21st century, a noble symbol of freedom and a tireless pursuit of excellence, an everlasting legacy of pride, precision, and professionalism of all airmen of the United States Air Force. Since 1953, we have demonstrated the most advanced and respected air power in the world, the pinnacle of teamwork and dedication of the world's most elite force in air, space, and cyberspace. We are first, last, and always a fighter squadron. Our maintenance professionals can transform our jets to be combat ready in 72 hours, to provide the protection under which our democracy operates, Today, you will witness the unparalleled teamwork, aerial precision, and raw power employed in combat. Almost unbelievable attention to detail demands the ultimate commitment from the whole squadron to achieve their best. At 500 miles per hour and formations 18 inches apart, and at times only 150 feet off the ground, the sound of freedom is not just heard, but felt. Our lineage of military jets and frontline fighters have always proudly displayed our colors. Red for courage, white for truth, blue for justice. Distinguished names that echo down the halls of aviation history. Thunderjet, Super Sabre, Thunder Chief, Phantom, Talon, and today's F-16 Fighting Falcon, also known as the Viper. In the spirit of its namesake, the F-16 can soar to 50,000 feet, climbing 30,000 feet per minute. It is capable of Mach 2 or 1,500 miles per hour, and maneuvers at 9 times the force of gravity. From our fabled past to today's ambassadors in blue, we seek to be the best of the best in our critical mission. Recruit, retain, and inspire the long blue line of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We are the premier air demonstration squadron of the United States Air Force. We are 130 of the finest airmen together to exhibit the capability and uncontested air dominance of the United States Air Force. Anywhere, anytime. We are the Thunderbirds.
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Major Bryce Turner, Thunderbird 8, the team's advanced pilot and narrator from Yorktown, Virginia. It's great to be here at Hill Air Force Base, and today I want to tell you about the Thunderbird mission, a demonstration of teamwork, dedication, and professionalism that mirrors that of your Air Force active duty, Guard, and Reserve personnel deployed around the globe. As our jets taxi out to begin today's demonstration, the Thunderbird crew chiefs are already preparing for their recovery. Let's watch as they demonstrate the same level of precision on the ground that you are about to witness in the sky. The Thunderbird team is comprised of proud professionals who are motivated by a passion for service and a commitment to excellence. It all started in 1953 with the F-84 Thunderjet. In just 6 days, the first Thunderbird team crafted a demonstration that would shape the future of military jet demo teams for years to come. The Thunderbirds became the first supersonic-capable jet demo team in 1956 with the transition to the F-100 Super Sabre. In the early days, flying at supersonic speeds and creating a sonic boom was an accepted way to begin the demonstration. While supersonic speed is now prohibited, the Thunderbird tradition of showcasing America's frontline fighter aircraft and representing the pride, precision, and professionalism of all of our 695,000 airmen continues today on the current team. With 31 different Air Force career fields, this team is a diverse group of exceptional airmen from all across this great nation who have committed to a mission greater than themselves. Each Thunderbird is filled with an intense passion, a sense of pride and purpose that represents the agile capability of your United States Air Force. The Thunderbirds have been showing Americans what our Air Force can do for over the past 71 years. Since 1953, not a single demonstration has been canceled due to a maintenance problem. Please join me in thanking the true heroes of our team and of the United States Air Force, our maintenance and support professionals. Right now, our pilots are completing some pre-flight checks at the end of the runway, and once they are ready, they will take to the skies. The Diamond will take off from your left to your right, individually, and then quickly rejoin into the famous Thunderbird Diamond. Following the Diamond takeoff, the Solos will perform the Mayhem takeoff. Thunderbird 6 will take off from your left to your right in maximum afterburner and perform an immediate 360-degree aileron roll while still over the runway. Thunderbird 5 will then follow him from the left, pull his nose immediately 60 degrees into the vertical, perform the split S maneuver, reversing his direction while still over the runway. Hang tight while we get ready to fire on up. And now, Hill Air Force Base. Stand tall as America's ambassadors in blue open with a tribute to the greatest nation on earth, America's own, your 2024 United States Air Force Air Demonstration Squadron, the Thunderbirds! Woo! In 1954, the first Thunderbird solo made their debut on the team, and in 1962, the opposing solo was added. Now check 6, and welcome our current solo pilots, Thunderbird 5, Major Erick Tice, and Thunderbird 6, Major Jeff Downey, as they approach from behind and overhead to execute the ever-inspiring crossover break. Thunderbird fans, have your cameras ready for a picture of formation flying at its finest as the diamond is approaching from the right at a mere 18 inches apart from wingtip to canopy and 10 feet of wingtip overlap for your 2024 Diamond Pass in Review. Watch from the left as our lead solo displays the historic Thunderbird emblem on the bottom of his aircraft with the knife edge pass. The original Thunderbird Diamond was led by Major Dick Catledge, with twin captains Buck and Bill Patillo as wingmen and Captain Rob Kanaga as the slot pilot. Now look back to the left as the current Thunderbird Diamond maintains precise formation position in the diamond roll.